Well, this is very awkward. Apparently, the Switch 2 has been hacked on day one. The unhackable Switch 2, the one that was impossible to break down. They were so happy to say that out loud, over and over and over again. And suddenly, the first 24 hours of the Switch 2's life cycle is going from shaky to downright earthquake levels. Now, for legal purposes, I have to say out loud that I do not condone any forms of breaking of terms of services, any form of piratic acts, nor any form of angering Nintendo any more than they probably already are mad. Now, let's get back into it. Guys, if you buy a Switch 2 now, I might forgive you. Depending on how this hack situation goes, and depending on where your morals lie, I would actually totally understand the different types of morals people may have. There are plenty of different types of protests. Some of them are peaceful, they usually don't get anything done. Some of them get in the gray area of legalities, and I gotta say, I am not a lawyer. I could maybe give you a Malcolm X quote about rising up and rioting, which is technically not peaceful protest, but I do not know if that will hold up in court. Now, despite the fact that I don't think anybody should do anything illegal, sometimes when a big bully comes in and just keeps pushing, and then they just keep pushing more and more and more. And like, you know, the first 2-3 times you're just kind of like, okay, like, I'm gonna ignore this, and maybe he'll just leave me alone. And then like, that bully will just keep going and just keeps like slamming you, you know, like just, yeah, this guy's annoying. And then all of a sudden, when he pushes you just far enough, you decide to passively, aggressively get back at that bully by doing something like downloading and playing their games illegally. Now, to be clear, that is very illegal. It's very wrong. Again, I gotta reiterate that a few times. But, you know, sometimes if the bully doesn't act like a jerk, sometimes if the bully isn't being a bully, people might not necessarily feel like they need to go to crazy measures. But you know how it goes. The same way the streaming companies sat there and they just continued to increase prices and add ads everywhere. The same way the cable companies give you like 3 months of a ridiculously good deal, and then all of a sudden your bill gets quadrupled and you don't know how to cancel because you gotta go and mail them your information and include your blood type on there so you can cancel the service. At some point you're gonna say, screw it, I'm gonna find an illegal stream. And yeah, Nintendo, I think people are about to start streaming your Switch illegally. Now on the plus side for Nintendo, people might have incentive now to go and purchase your Switch 2. Because now, all of a sudden, all of these very, very bad people, I gotta reiterate that again, these very, very bad people are no longer thinking about it from the angle of, oh, $450 and $80 games, are you freaking out of your mind? They're like, yeah, one-time payment, $450, and I can download every game I want on the Switch 2? That's insane, that's an amazing deal. They won't even get the bundle at that point, because why would you pay $50 for Mario Kart World when you can get it for free? Is what somebody really bad and illegal would think. So I'm really dumb when it comes to this stuff. All I know is that Switch Tools, I don't even know what Switch Tools is, I just found it pop up now because I don't know this stuff, says that the exploit does not allow you to hack the consoles at the moment, but simply it sends a code that has no connection with the system. But apparently that's the first step to move forward. And once you get that first step in, well, the ball starts rolling. Now this isn't to say that people will be emulating things on their Switch 2s here in the next few days. This might not even be a week's situation, could be months, could be a year, you never know. But once those wretched pirates come a-knocking on your door, 'tis but only a matter of time, matey. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm having fun. It's 3 in the morning, I thought I was going to go to sleep, and then this crap pops up on my feed, and now I'm just like too excited with the news. Again, not because I want to hack, but because this is funny as hell. Like, I'm already in the zone, you know, like I'm already up here in my mind thinking that the Switch 2 launch is not going as well as Nintendo planned, and like it might be, it might not be, who really knows. And so I'm getting excited because it's a launch of a new console, and I've been like a maniac for the past 2 months yelling into the void saying that this thing is not doing well, and now it might actually not be doing well, so I might not be crazy as I think that I am, but maybe I'm not that crazy. And then all of a sudden now it's like the unhackable console is hackable and it's not selling well, and then now it's going to sell very well because everyone's going to be like, oh, this thing's hackable. And okay, let me just breathe for a second. Do you remember the first time you hacked a console? Don't say it out loud because you might get arrested. I don't mean like the time you paid that kid that lives on the corner of your block to hack your console. Like that's, you know, anybody can pay money and get something done. I mean the first time where you were like, hang on a second, I just gotta drag some files from here to there and type in some numbers and do this and that, and all of a sudden it works. There's like this weird sense of accomplishment. You feel like, you know, one of those cool hackers from the 90s that would just sit on their keyboards and it would just be like click, 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 click. And you're watching the movie and you're like, he's not pushing any buttons. This makes no sense. And then all of a sudden, bam, Super Mario Brothers is working on your fridge door. That is amazing. So yeah, this is kind of funny because we're in another generation of Nintendo console and we're already starting from day one, another generation of battling with hackers. But this time it's friskier because they can remotely brick your console. Allegedly, we don't know for sure yet. I don't know if anybody's been bricked yet, but I wonder if they have a failsafe in there. Like a remote detonate button where you push the wrong thing and all of a sudden, brick. Although, if Nintendo could have it their way, it might literally explode. But regardless, now in addition to all of the sales numbers that are going around, this is something else that's completely catching my interest. For the sake of being aware and news and research, of course, I do not condone these terrible, terrible, heinous acts. And obviously, it's not just that I want to see if the Switch gets hacked, I just want to see what kind of measures are in there. I want to see what happens when the hacker figures something out, and what happens to the console, and does the console react, and does Nintendo react, and who ends up in jail this time. You know, the Switch gave us Gary Bowser before it gave us Doug Bowser, so let's see which Bowser this one gives us. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, if this indeed gets you to go and buy your Switch, remember to not update anything and keep it on airplane mode, lest you may ruin your chances of potentially doing something very, very, very illegal. But you know what's not illegal? Buying it now and putting it in your bottom drawer of your desk and then just waiting it out and seeing how long it takes to be able to run Pokemon Yellow on your Switch 2. Because at the end of the day, that's all we really want in our Nintendo consoles. We just want to be able to play Pokemon Yellow. Because it's not in the NSO yet. Okay guys, I'm going to sleep now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Although, I do feel like I should close this off with a disclaimer that I was humorously pretending to be insane. I'm not actually insane, believe it or not, but I just figured the moment called for it. So, thanks again for listening, and I will catch you guys on the next one.